Hello students, welcome back to the class. We are doing the chapter The Human Eye and the Colorful World, and in the previous classes we have understood the ray of light passing through a glass prism, dispersion of white light by the glass prism, rainbow formation by the water droplets in the atmosphere, and in the previous class we understood the meaning of scattering of light and two different theories based on the scattering, that is Rayleigh scattering and the Mie scattering, which basically gave us more clear picture of the scattering. And since we have understood the scattering concept, today we are moving to the next topic, that is the applications of this scattering, that is what are the different natural phenomena taking place which are totally based on the scattering of light. And I hope you will be able to understand the concept and you will be able to find interest in the topic as well. So let's start with the class now. So I have already drawn one diagram, and very first the natural phenomena we are going to take, that is based on the scattering of light, is the blue color of sky. So we know the sky appears blue in color, so why so? And that is totally based on the scattering, and let's understand this concept. So I have made a very brief diagram, that is, just take an example, the white light is coming from the sun, and finally it enters the atmosphere of the earth, that is it enters the sky, we can say. And now what will happen in the sky, the particles are there which will scatter the light in all the direction. And once the light will be scattered in all the direction, those scattered light will be received by the person on the surface of the earth. So you can see a very brief diagram I have made for the same. So this is the white light. Once it will enter, it will get scattered, and then after scattering, what will happen? All those scattered light will be reflected back, we can say, reflected back to the surface of the earth, and hence whatever color will be reflected back to the surface of the earth, we are able to see the same color of the sky. So let's understand this concept. So very first, one thing is to know, if you talk about the sky, in the sky the particles which are present are very small as compared to the wavelength of the light. So we understood one thing, if this condition we have, then in that case Rayleigh scattering will take place. So we are going to relate all the concepts together that we have understood in the previous class. So if you have not gone through this concept of the previous video, must go through that so that you can understand this, otherwise it's not so easy to understand. Okay, so Rayleigh scattering simply says that if the particle of the medium or the atmosphere is very small as compared to the wavelength of the light, in that case the light which are scattered will have the intensity that is inversely proportional to the fourth power of the wavelength. So if we see the spectrum color, so just take an example, these are the colors which are having less wavelength. So here the violet has minimum wavelength and red has maximum wavelength, that we know already. So just take an example, white light enters the sky, and then the scattering of light takes place. So all the colors are scattered together, but according to the Rayleigh scattering, the color which has minimum wavelength will have maximum intensity. So you understood, because the intensity of the scattered light is inversely proportional to the fourth power of the wavelength. So it understood, if I take the example like violet, indigo, blue, these three colors are scattered together. Just take an example. So if these three colors are scattered together, then all the three colors will have different intensity. So you understood, because depending upon this Rayleigh scattering or this particular equation, we can say, that is the violet will have maximum intensity, indigo will have less intensity as compared to the violet, and blue will have less intensity as compared to indigo. So overall the violet colors will have maximum intensity, and that color should be visible to us. But one thing is to know, that is our eyes are not so sensitive to the violet and indigo colors of light. Okay, that's why we are not able to see the violet and indigo, and finally what we see, the blue color. So I'm repeating again, different colors are scattered, that is, once the white light will enter the sky, then what will happen, then the light will be scattered in all the direction, and those scattered light will be finally reflected back to you, and whatever color will be reflected back to you on the surface of the earth, you will be able to see the same color of the sky. So what you see what you see in the sky, what color you see in the sky, nothing but the scattered light that is finally coming to you, and depending upon the wavelength of the scattered light, they will have different intensity, and it is understood violet will have maximum intensity as compared to indigo and blue, because violet has minimum wavelength. But our eyes are not so sensitive to these two colors of light, so we are not able to see violet and indigo. And finally, the next color which will have more intensity will be blue as compared to green color. So finally we are able to see blue color of sky. So I hope you got the answer. It's very simple. So how we can write down the statement: in the sky the size of the particle is very small, that is very, very small as compared to the wavelength of the light. Hence Rayleigh scattering takes place, that is the light which is scattered will have the intensity depending upon this relation, we can say, that is inversely proportional to the fourth power of the wavelength. According to the spectrum colors wavelength, we know violet will have maximum intensity because it has minimum wavelength, but our eyes are not so sensitive to violet and indigo also. So the next color which we have is blue, and that will be visible to us, and hence the sky appears to be blue in color. So that is the simple answer we have. So next natural phenomena we have based on the scattering of light is cloud appears white. So we know that is the color of cloud is generally white happens. So very first we should know, when you talk about the cloud, it has the particles which are mostly water droplets. So we should know the entire scattering will depend on the what kind of particles we have. Okay, so water droplets we have, dust particles or carbon particles we have. So these are the particles which are basically forming the cloud. So if I say these particles have the dimension of x, and this dimension is basically quite longer as compared to the wavelength of the light. So we know if this is the condition, that is if the dimension of the particle is big enough as compared to the wavelength of the light, then what will happen? We understood from the concept of Mean scattering, that is if we have the particle of x which is quite bigger than the wavelength, then when the white light will fall on it, what will happen? The entire white light will be reflected. So we understood all the colors of the light will fall on the particle, all the colors will be scattered equally, and hence once they will scattered equally, they will combine together to form the white light, and hence this is happening in the cloud. So each and every particle of the cloud are basically they are scattering the entire components of the light, that is white light, and finally we are able to see white light only, and hence the cloud appears to be white in color. And in the previous case we understood the sky appears blue because in the sky the particle was very, very small as compared to the wavelength. So in that case the scattering will take place, and that will depend on the wavelength of the light. So the color which has minimum wavelength will have maximum intensity, and we are able to see that color of sky. So I hope you are able to differentiate the color of sky and color of cloud, how they are different from each other. Next natural phenomena we have based on this scattering of light is the color of the sun, that is there is a change in the color of the sun only. If you see early morning you see red color of sun, then orange, yellow, then noon time you see somehow white color, then again evening time you see orange, red, yellow color of the sun. So why it happens? So that is also based on the scattering of light. So for this we need to understand a very simple concept, that is overall if this is the sun and this is the earth, now the light is traveling from sun to the earth. If you are standing here on the earth, so the color of light that is coming from the sun to you, same color of sun will be visible to you. The meaning is, if the white light will start traveling from sun to earth, then you know the white light will have this scattering also. Once it will enter the atmosphere of the earth, the scattering will take place. Okay, and according to the concept we have understood, that is out of these 7 colors it is possible that most of the colors will be scattered, like violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, all colors are scattered. What remain unscattered? Red. So finally only the red color will be reaching you. So you will be only receiving the red color that is coming from the sun. So you understood, out of 7 colors which basically make the white light, 6 colors is scattered. What is left? Red. So finally what color you will receive? Red color. So what color of sun you will see? Red. So that is one thing you have to remember. The color of light that is received by you coming from the sun, same color of the sun you are able to see. So overall, one thing you should remember, the color which is coming to you from the sun is the unscattered light. So we have to understand in which case which color will remain unscattered, and that color will be received by you from the sun, coming from the sun, and the same color of the sun will be visible to you. So this is the first concept you have to remember. So finally from the sun you receive unscattered light and the same color of the sun is visible to you. Now let's take the diagram to understand this concept, why the color changes from morning to evening time. Okay, so one thing, if you see the diagram, morning time you can see, if you see the atmosphere of the earth and the horizon of the earth also. So in general, this is the x distance. So you can see within the atmosphere the light has to travel more distance as compared to the noon time, if you are able to see. Overall the thickness of the atmosphere is same everywhere, no change. But if the sun is near the horizon, near the nearby morning time, so this is the distance that is to be covered by the light within the atmosphere. At the noon time, this is the light, this is the distance that is to be covered by the light within the atmosphere. Again, evening time, this is the distance, let it be x1, x2 somewhere. This is the distance to be covered by the light that is coming from the sun. So in general you are able to see from the diagram itself the distance covered by the light within the atmosphere of the earth. Within the atmosphere, we are not talking about the distance between the sun and the earth, because in the space outside the atmosphere there is nothing to do with the scattering. Scattering is not possible because there is no medium, no particle. So scattering will take place only within the atmosphere. So we have to see within the atmosphere how much distance will be covered by the light. Verify that is to be understood. And based on the diagram, it is very simple to understand that nearby the morning and evening time, the light will travel more distance within the atmosphere, that is x1 and x2, they are approximate as compared to the noon time. So you can see overall x1 or x2, we can say they are greater than y somehow, or not much greater, but they are greater than y. That is at noon time the distance covered by the light will be less. So this is the first thing. Second thing is, when the light is traveling from the sun to the earth, so since nearby the morning and evening time light has to travel more distance, so what will happen? More is the distance, more will be the scattering. That is, for example, if the distance is very less, then maybe only violet color will be able to scatter, rest colors will remain unscattered. If the distance will increase further, then indigo color will also scatter. Then blue color will also get scattered, green color will also get scattered. So once we go on increasing the distance for the light to travel, then automatically more and more colors will be scattered. Yes or no? And finally, if we see the morning time, the distance is maximum, so what will happen? Most of the colors will be scattered. So we can say morning time, violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, even orange, most of these colors will be scattered. What will remain unscattered? That is red color, because red color has maximum wavelength. So finally the red color will come to you. Rest colors are scattered in the atmosphere. And what color of the sun we see? The color that is finally coming to you from the sun. And now which color is coming to you? Red color. So this is a simple concept we have. So since morning time the distance covered by the light will be maximum within the atmosphere, so maximum scattering of light will take place, maximum colors will be scattered in all the direction, that is within the atmosphere, within the sky. Then finally the color of maximum wavelength will remain unscattered, and that will be received by you, and the same color of the sun you are able to see. So finally you are able to see red color, or maybe orange color, or maybe yellow also, because these colors are having quite longer wavelength. So that's why morning time you basically see red, orange, yellow color of the sun, because these colors are unscattered because of longer distance, these colors are scattered, these colors may remain unscattered. Okay. Now same thing is there at evening also. At evening also the distance to be covered by the light within the atmosphere is quite more as compared to the noon time. So evening time also same thing will happen. Most of the colors will be scattered, and finally the color which will remain unscattered will be red or orange because of longer wavelength, and again you receive the red color or orange color from the sun. So you are able to see the red or orange color of the sun. So I hope you understood. Morning time, evening time, light has to travel more distance within the atmosphere, and hence most of the colors will be scattered, which are of shorter wavelength. Longer wavelength will remain unscattered, and hence that color of sun you are able to see because only that color you receive from the sun. Noon time, it is understood now, the distance covered by the light will be very less as compared to the morning and evening. So what happens, since the distance is very less, most of the colors remain unscattered. So one thing you should know, that is at noon time most of the colors, so even the violet or indigo, they are scattered, for example. Even the rest 5 colors will combine together to form almost white light. So even if violet is scattered, even the indigo is scattered to some extent, then also the rest 5 colors will be able to mix together, and that will form very close to white light only. That's why at the noon time you are able to see almost white color of sun, because most of the colors remain unscattered because of very less distance covered by the light within the atmosphere. So I hope you understood. So I am not writing this explanation. I hope you understood. That is, morning and evening time, distance covered by the light within the atmosphere is maximum. So most of the colors of light get scattered, which are of shorter wavelength, and hence the light of longer wavelength is finally received by you, which is red or orange, and hence you are able to see the red or orange color of the sun. Noon time, the distance covered by the light within the atmosphere, not I'm not talking about the distance between sun and the earth, within the atmosphere, the distance will be less, very less, and hence most of the colors will remain unscattered, and finally it will form the white light. That's a simple concept we have. So I hope you understood why the color of the sun changes from morning to evening. So briefly I can write down at morning and evening, distance is longer. Okay, I'm writing in short. So distance is longer. What happens? Most colors are scattered. Red, orange remain unscattered. And why? Because these are having longer wavelength, because we understood in general the scattering depends on the wavelength of the color of light. So I hope you understood for the morning and evening. And at noon we can say that is distance is very less. So I'm not writing complete statement. Distance covered by the light within the atmosphere, okay, that is very less. So almost no scattering we can say. So scattering also depends on the distance given to the light to travel. So if the distance is very less, in that case it is possible the light may not be able to scatter properly, and hence you are able to see the light in white color only. So I hope you understood. Almost no scattering, and hence you see white color of the sun. I hope you understood this much. So now we have understood 3 natural phenomena based on the scattering of light, and now we are taking one application based on the scattering of light, means how we are using the concept of scattering in the real life. And for that we are taking the help of the red light we basically use for the signal, that is in the traffic light also we use red color. Why so? So why always we use red color for the signal, for the alert, red alert we generally say also. So that is the concept to be understood, and I hope you got some idea. So One thing we know, if we talk about the wavelength of the red color, it is maximum. So the color which is coming out from the signal, which is red in color, will mostly remain unscattered. So this we have already understood. That is, the red color is mostly unscattered because of longer wavelength. So that we already know. So even if you are standing here at very large distance, so in that case also red color, even if it is traveling a very long distance, it is possible that it will remain unscattered because it has a longer or the longest wavelength. So even from the distance you are able to see the red color, because finally the red color that is coming to you will come to you without getting scattered in the atmosphere. Okay, so in place of red, if you are using green or blue color, for example, we are using blue color. So you know the wavelength of blue is not long enough. So the wavelength of blue color is also less. So if you are standing at a distance, it is possible the blue color started from a particular place, that is the signal which is given a blue color. But before it reaches you, what will happen? This color will get scattered. Why? Because between the signal and you, there are the particles which will always scatter the light. So if the blue color will try to come towards you from this signal, so before it reaches you, it is possible it will get scattered, and that's why you will not be able to see that blue color. So that is why the red color is always preferred, so that even if the distance is long enough, the red color will remain unscattered, and hence you are able to see that signal even from the distance. This is the one concept. Second concept we have is, if we talk about winter season, so first thing is the distance. Distance is clear. Even longer distance may not be able to scatter the red light, and you are able to see that red signal even from a long distance. That is the first thing. Second thing is also depending upon the atmosphere situation. So you know, during winter we have fog, and the particles we have in the atmosphere are big enough, you know. So during fog we have during winter, the fog we have in the atmosphere are having lots of particles which are big enough, and they can scatter maximum light. So during winter, it is understood all these colors will be mostly scattered. Even orange can be scattered because the particles are big enough as compared to the wavelength of the light. So what will happen? If we are using the signal of these colors, violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, so even if you are very close to the signal, it is possible that because of the particles in the atmosphere, these colors will be scattered, and then also you may not be able to see that signal. But even in that situation, we know red color may be unscattered. So whether we talk about the distance or whether we talk about the particles in the atmosphere, in all the cases we have the possibilities that red color will be unscattered most of the time, and hence that can be visible even from a long distance or even during the fog, and hence we are always using the red color for the red signal or the signal itself. So I hope today's class you understood the different three natural phenomena, how scattering is related with the natural things happening around us. That is how the color changes for the sky, for the cloud, for the sun, and based on this scattering of light, we are using the red light for the signal as well. So these are all the things we have. In the next class we will go for more things related with this scattering of light. So wait for the next class. So for today it's done. Just take care. Hari Om and thank you.